Actor Charlie McDermott rose to fame thanks to his role as Axl Heck on the ABC sitcom The Middle, which aired from 2009 until 2018. Seeing as that was 3 years ago, what the heck has Axl Heck been up to since? Pennsylvania native Charlie McDermott's first on-screen role was as 10-year-old boy in M. Night Shyamalan's 2004 period thriller, The Village. Even though it was an extra role, McDermott recited lines and snagged some quality screen time with heavyweight actors like Bryce Dallas Howard. When asked if he thought The Village was his big break as an actor, he told South Jersey Magazine, "Absolutely, it's actually the first thing I ever did. M. Night Shyamalan had become an idol for me and was the only person I knew that was doing big work in Philadelphia. I really looked up to him. When I saw there was an open casting call, I went, mostly just trying to see him, but never actually believing I'd be cast." Charlie McDermott's star continued to rise prior to his The Middle debut. The same year he appeared in The Village, he popped up on 7 episodes of the short-lived TV series Windy Acres. He nabbed a Best Supporting Actor nomination at the Independent Spirit Awards thanks to his noteworthy performance as TJ in the 2008 movie Frozen River. McDermott went on to earn small roles on highly regarded series like The Office, Private Practice, and Medium. He also appeared in films like Hot Tub Time Machine and the TV movie Bond of Silence. McDermott pointed out that, quote, "things took off for him after his first film role, per South Jersey Magazine. In order to secure more work, however, he needed professional representation. He said, I got an agent and a manager and moved to New York City for a couple years before eventually moving out to California." Still, he admitted to College Magazine in 2012 that seriously pursuing an acting career as a teenager was daunting for quite a while, explaining, "It was the worst age to take such a leap because no one hires an actual teenager to play a teenager on screen. I never made it past the 3rd round in the audition process." Thankfully for Charlie McDermott, it wasn't long before he scored a major role for his resume, landing the part of Axl Heck on the ABC sitcom The Middle. TV audiences were introduced to the series in 2009, and at the age of 18, McDermott made his debut on the series as the eldest Heck sibling. In 2015, he told the Sioux City Journal that he grew up on the show, sharing, "I really got to know these people so well. It's like they're my family." Still, McDermott went through an arduous process to get hired for the role. In 2014, he went further into detail about it in an interview with the Daily Actor. He explained, "I first moved to Los Angeles in 2006, and I auditioned for the original pilot a couple months after coming out here, and the character was named Elvis then, and I went in and made it 2 auditions in and I got cut, and then the pilot went and they didn't get picked up." However, as fate would have it, McDermott found himself in the running again a year later. He shared, "The audition came back again and it was the exact same audition sides, except the character name was scratched out and said Axl instead of Elvis. And I still had the scenes memorized because I only had 2 or 3 lines in the pilot. I had nothing to work with. I auditioned, I went through 5 auditions over a couple months and got it."
I'm doing awesome.
In 2013, Charlie McDermott and his The Middle family celebrated the 100th episode of the series. At the time, McDermott revealed that at that point, the life skills episode stood out to him the most. He noted that it was his favorite one to shoot and to watch, especially in light of Axl and his sister characters' interaction. He shared, "They're always on opposite sides, they're always fighting, and it's nice to actually have them on the same team and working together towards a common goal. And it's a funny episode, and I think it played out really well." The common goal McDermott was referring to was a class project his and co-star Eden Scher's characters were tasked to work on during the episode. McDermott explained more of the episode's plot to The Hollywood Reporter in 2013, saying, "Sue actually messed up, which is surprising, and Axl stepped in to save the day. I wasn't just making fun of her, which it usually is, and I don't think that ever happened again or before. It was cool to be on the same side." In 2015, Charlie McDermott's future as Axl Heck on The Middle was a bit uncertain. There was a real possibility that he would leave the series for a CBS comedy pilot, on which he would have played the lead character. Deadline reported that the CBS pilot came as a surprise to The Middle producers and WB-TV, as they had expected to have the cast available for season 7. In the end, however, the other show wasn't picked up, and McDermott re-signed his contract for continued work as Axl on The Middle. Charlie McDermott was granted the enviable opportunity to direct an episode of The Middle in 2017. He told Entertainment Weekly, "Directing is something I've wanted to do as long as the show's been on, so I've been shadowing on set pretty much since the show began. Even on all the projects I worked on prior to The Middle, it's something I prepared for a long, long time. So when the time finally came, I felt like I had a good grasp on it." McDermott added that the scene he was most looking forward to helming was the recreation of the famous Friends fountain scene from that show's opening credits. He shared, "We watched the intro intro just to match the camera angles, which was pretty close to what was on the show. But one thing we realized was that in the first couple of seasons, the Friends cast are actually not in the fountain and they're not wet, which I just assumed. Needless to say, there was a decision to be made. McDermott added, "We had to decide which season of Friends we wanted to match, but I never noticed that there were a couple of different versions of the intro until I had to watch them all. That ended up being one of the most fun parts of the week." The two-part series finale of The Middle aired in May 2018, with Charlie McDermott's character leaving his family for a job in Denver, Colorado. Upon reflecting on the show's inevitable end, the actor told the Philadelphia Inquirer that he would like to keep acting. "Acting is so spontaneous, like a job pops up and then you try to get it. If you get it, you're working on it. It's all within like a couple months, so it's hard to plan. When I was younger, I really wanted to have a specific trajectory, but now it just seems impossible to ever do that. So I just want to keep working and hopefully enjoy what I'm getting to do." The Middle co-creator Eileen Heisler spoke highly of the way McDermott gave Axl a particular lightness that only he could bring to the character. "I think that's why that character worked. Charlie himself is so unlike Axl. He has this sweetness, this essence of sweetness. Axl has that as well, but I think if you didn't necessarily have that actor playing that role, you could have written him off as a jerky kid. But he always had this softness and this caring about him, and he just makes you love him." Charlie McDermott acted in several other projects after wrapping up The Middle in 2018. The list includes his portrayal of Ty in 3 episodes of the TV miniseries Unbelievable. While his recent acting roles may be a short list, McDermott has still been very productive in another artistic endeavor. He released a digital album titled Some Things Just Fall Out of Your Hands in 2020. The cover photograph for the album was taken by his wife Sarah, whom he married in 2017. McDermott has released several music videos on YouTube, including one for his track Butterfingers and another for Wayside. The talented actor also stars in his video for Wayside, showing his dramatic acting abilities. Charlie McDermott's Instagram page, while very artsy, is a bit sparse. However, it appears that he's been spending his post-middle time drawing, making music, and spending valuable time with his spouse. His website shows more of his visual art, and he actively markets his pictures and songs. The multi-talented star's acting resume shows a smaller list of roles beyond The Middle. However, McDermott's other inclinations towards music, directing, writing, and drawing could redirect him, or simply present alternative outlets of artistic expression for the star. Either way, McDermott's future looks pretty bright and filled with multiple exciting options. In the meantime, fans can use McDermott's music as the mystical soundtrack to their lives, while awaiting news of any potential future TV or movie roles. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite celebrities are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.